Good day, everyone. Let us discuss estate tax part 2. This material is shared to us by Assistant Professor Enrico D. Tabag, a well-known reviewer, author of taxation. So for estate tax, what is estate tax? It is a tax on the right to transfer property at death and on certain transfers which are made by the law, the equivalent of testamentary disposition, and is measured by the value of the property. So there is estate tax when a person having property, tangible or intangible, unfortunately died. No, considering that he or she is already a decedent, the said property will form part of the estate, and the estate, okay, particularly the gross estate, composition of the said gross estate, will be subject to an estate tax. And this is the tax again on the right to transfer. This is not the tax on the property itself, but the privilege or right to transfer the property at the time of death. Can we transfer property during lifetime? Yes. Okay. Either through onerous transfer or through gratuitous transfer. If this is through onerous transfer, that is in the form of either sale, okay, or barter. May kapalit. Ibig lang sabihin ng onerous, may kapalit. Pag gratuitous, walang kapalit. Okay, libre. So during the lifetime, that is what we call donation inter vivos. But if the transfer without any consideration, but it is gratuitous transfer, no, during or at the time of death, I should say, it is a donation mortis causa known as estate, estate or succession. So we have here tax. What is the nature of estate tax? First, it is an excise tax, the object of which is the shifting of economic benefits and enjoyment of property from the dead to the living. So the object, again, is not the property to be distributed or to be delivered or given to the heirs, okay? But the subject or the object is the shifting of economic benefit, okay? Excise tax. It accrues as of the death of the decedent, notwithstanding the postponement of the actual possession or enjoyment of the estate by the beneficiary. Ibig sabihin, mga kapatid, kahit hindi pa po na-distribute, no, sa mga heirs, hindi pa napapartition, wala pang judicial or extrajudicial partition, okay, the ownership will accrue, okay, to the legal heirs, no, upon the death of the decedent. That is why, okay, in the law on sales, okay, you cannot sell what you do not have, diba? Nemo dat kood nan habet, you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot sell your future inheritance, but the moment na namatay na po, no, yung magpapamana, decedent, you can now sell your undivided share in the said estate because it already accrues, okay, as of the death of the decedent. Yeah. Though hindi pa identified kung ano doon or alin dyan ang property mo or share mo, okay, but you have undivided share of the said estate. The taxpayer in the estate taxation is the estate, okay, of the decedent. So, ang itatax ay yung estate. Okay? It is a juridical person, yung estate. Siyempre, since juridical person siya, hindi siya personally makakapagbayad ng estate tax na 6% doon sa BIR. Ang magbabayad personally ay either the legal heirs, either the executor, or the administrator. But the person who is liable to pay the estate tax is the juridical person known as the estate. So siya po yung taxpayer, okay, ng estate tax. Effectivity of transfer of property. According to the case of Lorenzo versus Posadas, the heirs succeed immediately to all the properties of the deceased ancestor at the moment of death as completely as if, okay, the ancestor has executed and delivered to them the deed of the same before his death. Kaya nga it accrues, no, at the time of death as if na-deliver na niya before pa siya nawala. Okay, that is the presumption. Estate tax is it A, property tax because it is imposed on the property? Again, it is not imposed on the property. Okay? Indirect tax because the burden of paying tax is shifted on the executor. Again, the taxpayer is the estate. There is no shifting. Okay? Wala po, hindi kagaya ng VAT, no, na indirect pwede mong ilipat. Ito hindi po, no? Direct pa rin. Ang magbabayad is the taxpayer estate but represented only by the executor, administrator, or the heirs. Letter C, an estate tax is an excise tax. Okay, because the object of which is the shifting of economic benefit and enjoyment of property from the dead to the living. Okay, so this is the correct answer, letter C. Estate tax accrues from. Okay, kaya nga may case doon sa Lozano versus Posadas as if na-transfer na. So, ibig sabihin, at the time of death or the moment of death, okay, the estate tax accrues. Okay, so letter A. Syempre, class, hindi naman right there and then magbabayad ka na ng tax. No? Kaya nga, at the time of death, yun yung time na magbavalue ka naman ng mga assets, tangible or intangible, to be included in the gross estate. Okay? At yun yung maging basis ng estate tax natin. Okay? Kasi kung hindi naman at the moment of death, baka mag-appreciate pa yung value ng lupa na kasama dapat sa estate. Hindi mas mataas pa yung babayaran tax. Or even yung shares of stock. Say for example, if it is traded sa local stock exchange, nagbabago po yung presyo every day na kapag ka-open yung market, no? And it is driven by supply and demand, no? Kaya magbabago yung tinatawag nating average, no? Or the mean, highest and lowest value. So later i-discuss natin yung valuation ng stock with regard to stocks sold at local stock exchange. So ibig sabihin dapat ang reckoning point is the moment of death of the decedent. The taxpayer is the estate tax. In the estate tax is what or who? Okay, definitely mga kapatid, no? It is the estate as the juridical entity. Okay? So letter B po ang taxpayer, as represented definitely by the heirs, administrator, or executor. Who has the personal liability to pay estate tax? Okay? Sino po dapat ang magbabayad ng estate tax? Is it the decedent? Eh, patay na po siya. Estate as the juridical entity, the heirs or successors, or the administrator or executor. Okay? Siyempre, it is the administrator or executor. Administrator, again, is the person appointed by the court. Okay? Kung wala pong tinatawag na will, no? Kung intestate succession. Kapag ka naman executor, siya mag-execute ng kagustuhan ng will ng testator decedent. Ibig sabihin, kapag may testamentary disposition, may last will and testament, executor po ang tawag sa tao na na-designate ng testator. Okay, in computing for the so-called estate tax due, we have here the format, gross estate. Again, the included assets, no, in the gross estate will depend on whether the decedent is resident citizen, okay, or non-resident alien, o kaya naman non-resident citizen, okay, o kaya naman non-resident alien with reciprocity. Okay. So, the gross estate includes, okay, tangible and intangible asset within or outside the Philippines if the taxpayer, okay, or the decedent, I should say, is a citizen, okay, resident or non-resident. Okay? But if the taxpayer is a non-resident alien, okay, without reciprocity, all tangible and intangible assets within the Philippines should be included. While if the taxpayer or the decedent is a non-resident alien, okay, with reciprocity, ibig sabihin binibigyan ng benefit, no, or additional incentive, reciprocity, okay, na hindi mo na kailangang isama pa yung mga intangible assets, okay, doon sa tax na babayaran mo, no, sa ibang bansa. Ganon din ang ibibigay natin sa mga non-resident alien with reciprocity. We should not be including as part of the gross estate the intangible properties within or located in the Philippines kasi with reciprocity. So ang kasama lang ay yung tangible properties located in the Philippines or within the Philippines. And minus ordinary deductions. Yan yung mga example lang muna, no? We have laws, taxes, we have vanishing deductions, no? And special deductions. Ayan. And to get the net taxable estate, i-deduct natin yung mga yan. We're going to discuss this, no? Sa latter part ng estate tax, yung mga allowable deductions natin. Iisa-isahin natin yon. Siyempre, unahin muna natin ano yung mga included at excluded sa gross estate to come up with the net taxable estate. Ayan po, no? And multiply this by 6% tax rate to get the estate tax due. Dati, traditionally, merong level yan, parang graduated, no, tax table or tax rate, no? Pero ngayon pinagpantay na po, nung nagkaroon tayo ng train law, no? 6% sa donor's tax, 6% sa estate tax. So kung donation whether within or rather during the lifetime or donation at the time of death, parehas pa rin 6% minus tax credit to get the tax payable sa estate. So if married naman class, dito po pumapasok yung tinatawag nating share of the surviving spouse. So we have here net common estate divided by 2. Share of the surviving spouse to be deducted from the total. Yan. Less special deduction, we have here net taxable estate. Times 6% tax rate to get the estate tax due minus tax credit to get the estate tax payable. So, what are the components of gross estate? Gross estate is defined as it consists of all properties and interest in the properties of the decedent at the time of his death, as well as properties transferred during the lifetime only in form, but in substance, was only transferred at the time of death. Say, for example, yung mga transfer in contemplation of death. Dapat isama mo kasi kaya pala niya binenta sa'yo with the fear or knowledge na malapit na po siyang mawala sa mundong ibabaw, kaya binenta niya sa'yo. So dapat isama natin. O kaya naman, transfer for a low consideration. So nalugi, no, yung pagkakabenta. Yan. So classification of decedent, citizen or resident, or non-resident citizen or resident alien. And another classification is non-resident alien with reciprocity or without reciprocity. In the gross estate, if the decedent is citizen or resident, the composition of the gross estate includes tangible asset and intangible asset within and without the Philippines. Non-resident alien without reciprocity will include those properties, tangible or intangible, within the Philippine only. But a non-resident alien with reciprocity, yan yung may incentive, no? Binibigyan din ng benefit ang kapwa nating Pilipino sa bansa nila. So, within lang din ang kasama doon sa gross estate and only those tangible assets are included. Kaya dapat alamin natin ano yung mga intangible assets na hindi dapat isama kung may reciprocity. Now, in valuing the real properties, it is higher between the fair market value and the zonal value. The zonal value class is determined by the BIR, no? BIR. At syempre, fair market value, mga kapatid, yan po ay yun yung bentahan sa market, no? ay normally yung selling price nasa fair market value. Iba naman ang assessed value. Assessed value is determined by the city or municipal assessors. Okay? So, mas mababa yun normally yung assessed value. Okay? Personal property is to be valued at fair market value at the time of debt. While shares of stock, if it is traded in the local stock exchange, aalamin mo yung highest quote or yung price plus lowest quote or yung price, divide it by 2. Okay? Divide it by 2. Okay? If none, okay, it is at the time of debt. Ayan. So, ano ang presyo niya at the time of debt? Ordinary shares, if not traded, it is valued at book value if it's common share. But if this is preference share, not traded also, hindi po siya binibenta sa local stock exchange, ibig sabihin, yung kumpanyang ininvestan mo ay privately held, hindi siya publicly listed company, then it should be valued at par value. Ito po yung reciprocity clause that we have mentioned a while ago. No tax shall be imposed with respect to intangible personal property of a non-resident alien situated in the Philippines. So, intangible lang po ang hindi mo isasama. Okay? Paano natin hindi isasama? Kapag may reciprocity. Kailan may reciprocity? When the foreign country where such NRA is a resident and citizen does not impose transfer tax with respect to intangible personal property of Filipino citizen not residing in that country. Yan. So kung alien din sa ibang bansa, kunyari sa US, tapos meron pong ganitong benefit or incentive din na hindi nila sinasama for purposes of estate taxation, then bigyan din natin sila ng ganyang benefit. Okay? Now, aside from this, when the foreign country imposes transfer taxes but grants similar exemptions with respect to intangible personal properties of Filipinos not residing in that country. Okay? So, intangible personal properties considered located in the Philippines. Ano po yung mga kasama within the Philippines? Ito po yun. No? Franchise which must be exercised in the Philippines. Shares, obligations, or bonds issued by any corporation or sociedad anonima organized or constituted in the Philippines, shares, obligations, or bonds issued by a foreign. Ito po ang pang-trick normally, no? Foreign corporation. So isipin natin, outside the Philippines. Pero it is considered according to the law, at least 85% kasi nasa Pilipinas. So it is considered as located within the Philippines siya. So at least 85% of the business ng foreign corporation is located in the Philippines. Ayan. Shares, obligations, or bond issued by any foreign corporation, if such shares, obligations, or bond have acquired a business situs or situs, used in the furtherance of the business in the Philippines. So yung situs niya nasa Pilipinas. Shares or rights in the partnership, business, or industry established in the Philippines. Okay, these are intangible properties located in the Philippines. Again, the valuation of gross estate, the items comprising the gross estate shall be valued at the time of death or the date nearest such date. Usufruct, it is based on the latest basic mortality table to be approved by Secretary of Finance upon recommendation of Insurance Commissioner. Usufruct, real property, it should be valued at higher between fair market value and the zonal value. Personal properties, it is valued at fair market value. Shares of stock, as what we have mentioned a while ago, if this is traded in the local stock exchange, it shall be valued at the mean between the highest and lowest quotation at a date nearest the date of death, if none is available at the date of death itself. So this is in accordance with Revenue Regulation 2-2023 and Revenue Regulation 12-2018. But if the stock is not traded in the local stock exchange, the valuation of common shares, ordinary shares, shall be at book value. If it is a preferred share or preference share not traded in the local stock exchange, it should be valued at par value. Units of participation in any association, recreation, or amusement club, such as golf, polo, and similar club, the valuation of this intangible property or asset shall be the bid price nearest the date of death. So bid price, kung magkano siya gustong bilhin. Okay? Published in any newspaper or publication in general circulation. So bid price is the buying price. Ask price is the selling price. Okay, number 16. One of the following is subject to estate tax on property situated within the Philippines only. Okay, only. So is it A, resident citizen? Uy, within and without yan. B, resident alien? Within and without yan. C, non-resident pero citizen? Within and without yan. Letter D, ang tamang sagot, non-resident alien. Number 17, the personal property of non-resident, not citizen of the Philippines, so non-resident alien po siya, okay, would not be included in the gross estate if, so not included, ibig sabihin, ang hindi mo isasama, okay, kung NRA siya without reciprocity, ay yung mga intangible, okay, rather tangible or intangible asset, no? Without the Philippines. Pero pag tangible and intangible asset, within, kasama. But if with reciprocity, only those tangible assets within the Philippines ang included. Is it A, the intangible personal property is in the Philippines? B, the intangible personal property is in the Philippines and reciprocity clause of the estate tax law applies. Okay? C, the tangible personal property is in the Philippines. Kasama yan. Letter D, the personal property, okay, is the shares of stock of domestic, mga kapatid, no? Hindi po foreign. Yan. So kahit na may percentage ka dito kung domestic naman yan, mga kapatid, then it should be included. So ito po ang sagot natin dyan, no? With reciprocity. Okay? Intangible personal property is in the Philippines. Okay? Located in the Philippines. And reciprocity clause of the estate tax law applies. All of the following are considered intangible in the Philippines except, na-discuss na natin to kanina, franchise kasama, shares, obligations, or bond issued by corporation or sociedad anonima organized in the Philippines kasama, shares, obligation, or bond by any foreign, ayan, foreign. Dapat, hindi po 75. It should be 85%. 85. So letter C na ang tamang sagot. Okay? Okay, problem solving. Ayan. Lina Lamay, Filipina, died in Syria, leaving the following properties. House and lot in Syria. So you have here 1 million. Vacant lot in Manila, 2 million. Shares of stock in domestic, 100. Okay, shares of stock in foreign, 70%. Is this located within the Philippines? No, this is outside. Okay? Kasi dapat 80% para within. Car in Manila, within. Ito naman, without. Pero no need for you to, okay, classify whether it's within or without kasi siya po ay Filipina. So kung Filipina class, within or without, kasama. So i-add mo lahat yan. 1 million, 2 million, 100, plus 200, plus 500. Kaya ang sagot natin class ay letter A, 3.8 million. Yan po. That's for number 19. However, based on the preceding number but assuming that decedent is non-resident alien, walang binanggit as to reciprocity. Okay? So kung walang binanggit as to reciprocity, ang kasama dito ay, okay, tangible and intangible within the Philippines. Okay? So ito po, without. So hindi dapat kasama. Okay? Ito within, so included. Ito within, included. Ito within, included. How about ito? Shares of stock in a foreign corporation. 70% of the business is located in the Philippines. Hindi kasama yan. Kasi without yan. So, ang sagot natin, class, okay, we have 2 million plus 100 plus 500. Okay? Our answer should be 2.6 million. Okay. Continuing number 20 and assuming the rule on reciprocity apply. Ayan, may reciprocity na. So, kung babalikan natin to, kanina, kasama lahat. Yan, included lahat. Tapos, biglang, yung within the Philippines lang na tangible and intangible. Yan. Ngayon naman, kung may reciprocity, yung mga tangible lang ang kasama. So, 2 million is included, car in Manila is included, but this, okay, 60% shares of stock is excluded. Kaya ang sagot natin, class, for number 21 is 2.5, letter C. Okay, ito po ang ating solution for that. Okay, so we have 1 million plus 2 million, plus 100, plus 200, plus 500, lahat po kung citizen included. But for a non-resident alien without reciprocity, we do not include yung mga outside the Philippines. Okay? But we include tangible and intangible. NRA with reciprocity, we do not include outside the Philippines, okay, as well as intangible property. Okay, so yan po. Okay. Number 22, part of the estate left by A are preference shares of Meralco. The shares are listed and traded in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Which of the following rules of valuation is correct? So kung traded siya, again, it will be the mean. Okay, mean. Okay. The preference shares will be valued using arithmetic mean between highest and lowest quotation at the date nearest the date of death if none or is not available on the date of death itself. Ito na po ang tamang sagot. Okay, letter A. Okay, kasi traded eh. So kahit na preferred shares, kung traded siya sa stock market, yan po ay nakabase sa mean. Okay, sa mean. Okay. And this is just a reiteration class, no? Ito po yung basis natin. Composition kapag citizen or resident citizen, non-resident alien without reciprocity, non-resident alien with reciprocity. You have to memorize this, okay, by heart, okay? The composition. Okay, and definitely the valuation, okay? For you to be guided in computing for, okay, the amount of gross estate included in the said estate of the decedent. Number 23, Binat died on April 13, 2018, leaving the following properties. Common stock of Sanchamp, since stock ito, listed ba siya? Ayun, listed. Kaya ang gagawin mo, highest plus lowest, divide it by 2 to get the mean. Then multiply it by the number of shares, yun ang value ng shares na intangible property. Okay? Common stock of Agri-Nurture or ANI, no? That is ANI sa Philippine Stock Exchange. Kaso nga lang not listed daw. Okay, so theoretically, kung hindi siya listed, then aalamin mo, ano ba ito? Common. So kung common, it should be valued at book value. So 45. 45 times 1.5, then that is the value of the common stock, okay, investment sa ANI. Preferred stock of Greenergy. Okay, sa stock exchange sa totoong buhay, ito naman ay green, no? Ang kanyang code, no, green. Pero dito sa problem na to, not listed daw siya, kaya yung preferred stock niya, it should be valued at P. Ano yung P? Par value. So madaling tandaan, par. So 50 times 3,000, that is the valuation of the preferred stock of Greenergy to be included in the gross estate. While with regard to the car, since this is a personal property, no? Okay? Or movable property, I should say, it should be valued at market value. So ito po, 400. And real property, it should be valued at higher, okay, higher between, okay, the zonal value and fair market value. It is not the assessed value that we compare with zonal. It should be the fair market value. Okay? Wala pong fair, kaya 120 na ang ating basis, no, in this problem. Okay? And our answer class dito sa number 23 is letter B. Paano kinompute? Ito po ang ating solution. 40 plus 39 divided by 2 to get the mean. Okay, times 2,000, you have 79,000. 45, the book value, times 1.5 shares, 67.5. Preferred stock, 50, the par value, times 3,150. And the market value of the car is 400. The zonal value of real property, kasi wala naman pong market value na provided, it is 120. For a total of 816,500, that is the total gross estate of Binat. Okay? This ends our discussion with regard to part 2 of estate tax.